You're listening to the song I Am Fearless. And we have some upgrades even to this wonderful song. It's been a couple of years and it's been a while since I've been live with you, but I'm excited because I call him the master of the universe. And we'll explain what that means. He's also a captain of the seas, but most of all, he's here to bring some real enlightening words. And I'm going to share my testimony because we overcome by the words of our testimony. So, why don't you go ahead and let somebody know that we're live, and it's been a minute, but we're live today. Yay. And we are fearless, which means less fear, as Dr. Mahan was bringing it up to me. How you doing, Doc?
Good. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, fearless is still fear, just less.
Just less fear. And we don't want any fear.
So what is fear replaced with?
Yeah, yes.
My faith.
My faith, yes.
I can flip my fear back into my faith by making a new choice and making my fear okay. And hey, we can all trace it back to love anyway. You know, why are you afraid of your child being out alone? Because I love my child. That's really simply it. Or we can name all the bad things, cancel, the things we hate. But really what's true is, hey, I love my child and I protect my child.
Well, these are wonderful conversations that we've had over the years. And it was not by just happenstance that I met Dr. Mick Mahan. I literally drove, I guess it's probably about 25 miles. I was seeking a chiropractor and I literally heard the Holy Spirit direct me to him. And I thought, that's too far to drive. But literally did I realize that by driving 25 miles and passing up a lot of chiropractors, that I was in for more than just an alignment. And by the way, if I look crooked, it's because I am. But it's really more the camera rather than the alignment. Here I am talking about the chiropractor and I look crooked, but I haven't seen him in a while. So just so you don't judge by my misalignment in this screen. It's just the camera for whatever reason. But so I was just delighted to meet him and his wife. Amazing testimonies. I won't get into that. Those of you who have seen us over the past 2 years, you've heard the testimony. I was there to witness when his wife was, there was a decision trail that had to be made. She needed a new kidney and God, wow. Anyway, the testimony is just marvelous. And today she looks like a wonderful picture of health, America's Next Top Model and all that. But through the years, we've had a wonderful experience, and I've called him my coach because he keeps me accountable to my words, and he'll ask permission to upgrade, and I always say yes. I only think I said no once.
And we knew we were right on it.
Yeah, it was too close. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, nope. What don't you want to talk about?
Let's leave this alone. Yeah. So those of you and first of all, thank you for all of the prayers and support. Those of you who heard about my incident, cut finger. It's actually 2 fingers. One of the fingers is healing nicely. This middle finger will heal nicely. It's just having some challenges. I need to keep it covered. But on Thanksgiving Day, I was getting ready to prepare my Thanksgiving meal. It was about 7 a.m. And I had ordered a carving knife. It should have been electric. That's one of the lessons. But this carving knife was being used to, of course, carve the turkey. And I opened the knife because it was in a box. When I opened the knife, it was wrapped. It was in the box. Somehow it fell to the ground. Now I'll tell you, I didn't know I could move that fast, Doc, but it missed my feet. But before that knife hit the ground, and I just have to call it freak because everybody kind of goes, "Oh, how did that happen?"
Yeah.
But before it hit the ground, it sliced, and I mean sliced. It was not a superficial wound. It sliced two of my fingers. I was rushed to ER because the blood was coming on really, really fast. And when I got there, they gave me two options. You can have stitches or you can have glue, but we got to close it up. It's pretty bad. So I can say this, Doc, when I was on that way to the emergency room, and because of the nature of the accident and how freakish it was to me, like it just didn't have any logical reason to happen. I said, I choose to learn something from this. I don't know what it is I need to learn, but I choose to learn from this experience. Now, some people would say, well, buy electrical knife. Well, okay, that was one of the lessons, but I knew I knew there was a deeper lesson, and I was gonna learn that lesson, although I didn't understand what it was. I was sharing with Dr. Mick about one of the scriptures that has challenged me through the years. The scripture says, "For we know all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord and called according to his purposes." So when you have a cut finger, you saying the words, but I gotta say that there were parts of me going, why did this have to happen? Nobody in my, I mean, I've got family here from Dallas. Everybody's looking hungry. Nobody else can cook. And I'm like, why on Thanksgiving? But I chose to be grateful. And here, Dr. Mahan gives me a call. Well, actually, he posted on the finger thing. Yeah, we were
On
on
Facebook.
Facebook,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it was on Facebook. And you said, I have an interpretation and an upgrade. And I'm kind of going, an upgrade to a cut finger. Wonder what this is about. And it was very interesting. So I want to turn it over to Dr. Mick, and we'll just kind of go through this experience of how something can look bad. And yeah, it hurt. Um, but what's the good that can come out of it? What can we learn? How can we be upgraded? And I've got the right person to help us process our language and our understanding. So, Dr. Mick, let's start with you and what kinds of questions you asked me in the beginning, and we can kind of share with the audience.
Good. Thank you. Beautiful introduction, and very happy to be here and share, big truths about our bodies and how they relate. And the type of coaching I do, I coach on language because I stand on many biblical principles there. My word becomes flesh. A man is only justified or condemned by one thing: his words, all right, or her words. So and let the weak man say, I am strong. God has given
Yeah,
us true. The power of life and death is in my tongue. My tongue is
right.
the rudder of my ship. So what I say, I shall decree a thing and it shall be added unto me. And it's okay that, I come from a place where we don't know anything about this stuff, right? It's pure love. And we get here and we're born into this world of logic and physical and, logic, just the facts, and everything's, concrete and set. And that's the way it is. And that's okay because I really bought into that idea. But really, when I have things going on with me in my emotional world and I do what they taught me, which is to run from those, suppress them,
Yeah,
avoid,
yeah,
take this cup from me and believe that I could be real, right? Jesus let us know, take this cup from me. Hey, that story I think is, I'm going to tangle with the illusion of escape, right?
yeah.
And this is how I can handle it.
That bitter cup.
Yes.
Yeah, we've
Right.
all been there.
Cool. And it's okay that I bought into the illusion for a long time that I could get away from it.
Yeah,
But it's exactly what I'm here to do, raise, love, and upgrade, as part of my mission. I have permission to do that. It's per my
yeah,
mission.
yeah.
So we have translation. So when that goes on for a period of time, those unspoken, unloved, hated experiences or people will return to me in my flesh and will become embodied and can give me signals, right? Often shows up as diseases, and medical will label the disease. But really, what we're talking about
Or
here,
dis-ease.
dis-ease,
Yeah.
right? Because we haven't had ease on a topic.
Yeah.
So it's asking, the signal is just asking for something, typically love and forgiveness and a new choice.
So,
And I help people.
Dr. Mick, there are some people maybe hearing this for the first time, and we've had many discussions. So there's the signal that wants you to move into love. Say it again.
It's
The
asking
signal
for
wants
your,
you to
it's
move.
asking for my love.
It's asking for my
Yeah.
love.
I have
Because
God's love.
nothing,
God's love is in me here now and stays forever. But this is where it's my turn.
and
This is
nothing
where I
changes
partner up.
till we touch it with love.
Yeah, with my love.
With my love. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the signal. Now, when you heard about my cut finger, hey Janita, I all right, tune in. Yes, thank you guys for sharing that.
Welcome.
Yes, please let people know we're here. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Yeah, tell them the master of the universe, Captain. He said he's co-master. All right.
Oh, man. Yes. We all are.
We all
We're
are.
all
We are masters
co-creators.
of the universe. Okay, that's a whole nother. I don't want to get off. I want to get to this whole topic where when you call me, you ask me, first of all, what fingers were cut. Why did you ask me that?
Because in body language, or the idea of sacred body language, that my body can give me signals, and it's really based off the simplicity that we are, we come from a male and female, and we have a male and a female side to us. Okay, the world's tried to trick us into one or the other, or competition, one is better than the other. Okay, but we're actually made to partner in divine perfection. So I have a female aspect, like loving and nurturing is a feminine trait. Okay, can I love and nurture? Yes. Okay, building a building is a masculine trait. Can a woman build a building? Yes. So because we have aspects of both, we can do both each other's things. I can't have a baby or breastfeed, but
And let me just so that because there's all kinds of controversy about this, and I want to just say that we know that there's male and female. There's a gender assignment that comes
yeah.
from God. There's a gender expression, male or female. There's gender preferences, but it does come down to a choice.
Well, okay, yeah, but this
And
topic,
that, I
this
mean,
topic is, it's none of
that's
that
just
other stuff.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just to
I
not to get
express the
into
male form, but
right.
I have aspects of both because I came from a male and a female.
Right, right.
Go
But
on.
that's not our topic today, Doc. We're
No.
staying on this finger. Yeah. So
Well,
you asked me which finger, and it was
that's why I asked, because our right side is dad, our left side is mom, left side is receiving side, right
yeah,
side is giving side. So all it does in sacred body language is it gets me to a point where I can generate a question
yeah.
specifically about what maybe been going on. So the cut was on your right hand,
Yeah.
index finger,
My index finger.
and
Both
middle finger.
this finger is cut too, but
Yes.
this one is much better.
So in sacred body language, my thumb represents my will.
Okay.
Okay. My index finger represents my direction. My
Okay.
middle finger, we all know this one, right? This one represents my God given strengths and talents. My ring finger represents my help and divine help. And pinkies represent money and power, actually. So,
Pinky is money and power. Okay.
yes. So it's your right hand, so that's your giving side. So it just generates a question. Have you had resistance, or have you been deeply wounded in your divine direction, or receiving divine, or excuse me, directing divine direction in you?
And that was, as I said to you then, that was a yes. And the burden of that question was that because I teach and facilitate direction, I felt this responsibility to be extremely clear in my own. And
Okay,
I felt like there was some clarity lacking in that. So
cool.
that was a yes.
So how do we reverse clarity? We simply make a new choice. I remember my clarity.
I
Remember.
remember my clarity.
To
Yes.
remember again, to make a member again. I
Yes. To
remember my
join back
God clarity.
together. Yes.
You know, is God clear?
Yes, he's very clear.
Does God have clarity?
Yes, God has clarity.
Cool. Where is God?
In us.
In you, yeah, in me. So that means I have access to the degree I have access of clarity. Clearly, I can't know what God knows, or I can't see what all God sees, but I can see everything I require to see for me. That He is not withholding anything from me. It's me who said no.
So explain how we're saying no, because, you and I both have people that are constantly saying, I want to be clearer on my direction, on my future. Hello, Mary Ann. Thank you for joining us. Please
Which
share.
sounds very nice.
Go ahead.
But if we're specific in our language, and I believe my spirit, Holy Spirit, is very specific.
Yeah.
Very simple, doesn't use metaphors, very direct. Okay, so in our feeling world must be included. And yet we grew up, maybe a lot of us, not everyone, grew up in a place where feelings were not safe to express.
Yeah.
Okay, or society, or our friends. Or there was a time when we did express and we got hammered for it. So we withdrew, we retracted. And because of that retraction, I made some decisions about love and life very early on, 4 to 8 years old. And it was all for my survival. It was never against me. God gave me a system I could survive it. And the pain of survival brought me to a place where, hey, I was either going to have to get off this planet or I've got to receive wisdom. And that was
okay. So, Doc, bringing it back to this finger issue, if my outward expression is I desire clarity, I want clarity, I teach clarity, all of those things, and somewhere in the subconscious I'm burdened, I'm feeling pain in that area, what does that have to do with this finger getting cut?
Well, it's because there's a conflict. There's something inside you that says you can't have your clarity.
Explain.
Well, I mean, was there a time when, not being clear on something caused you a lot of trouble?
Absolutely.
Is that a yes or a no?
That's a yes.
Cool, because it could be absolutely not.
Okay, it could be. Thank you for being precise with the language.
Cool. Well, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Well, we got all these cool ways to try to say it.
That's in the Bible. Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. Yes.
Yeah, it's very clear. Why? Because
it's very clear.
Yeah, because it's kind of a yes, but there's a holdback.
Yeah.
Right. And when we choose our survival system of codependence and basing our world on what others are doing or looking for their approval, it creates some self-sabotage in us, and it will have us saying yes to things we're really a no for and no to things we're really a yes for. But the bottom line is I've made less than my highest choice. And the desires of my heart, my love based, all in alignment with God already, pre-done.
Wow.
So index finger is directing. So I asked you if you had some pain or was wounded about directing others.
That's a yes.
Okay, that's not I'm a yes, though. Who's that?
Well, okay. So for those who
is that a yes?
That's a yes. That is a yes.
That's
It's a yes.
All right, just play with me. Okay, we're playing a game. So, and then the second one is the middle finger is about having some difficulty with getting your inner strength, your God-given
That
strength
was
and talent.
that was this finger, which is also cut. Yes.
Yes. Cool. So you can you can focus on what's wrong, or we can make a new decision. Like I direct myself in what I'm required to do. I direct myself with ease. I am fully God directed.
Yes.
I give myself permission to God direct.
Yes.
Per my mission. I mean, clearly you're a coach and a leader. Do you help people?
Yes.
Do you love people?
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Have you had some difficulty in loving people?
Woo! That's a multi-syllable yes.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Right. And it's okay. You just forgive yourself that you took that on. And because you're not really required to take any of it on. You're here to direct and help and love in what you know to be true. And what you love is going to give you your answers.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Yes. A guy, one of my favorite authors, who wrote a book called Conscious Language. He said most angels are unemployed. They're sitting around, playing canasta, waiting for me to say something.
Yeah, that's what.
Say anything yet?
Yes.
Because all he's been talking about is what he hates, and that doesn't move any angels. And how do I know I'm talking about? How do I'm talking about what the God's love and grace stays, and I still have mercy, all of it. But I'm not operating in my full measure in any way when I'm expressing hate. Right?
Ooh, say that again. Now, let me just acknowledge Janita said, talk about the saying, the devil's in the details. Ambiguous language may be hindering our angels from being dispatched clearly.
Yes.
And you just said something that makes me want to ring my bell. You hear that bell?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that was a bell ringer. You just said the angels may not be moving because all you talk about is what you're hating. And that won't dispatch them.
And that language is always spoken in what is not. Right? What do you want for lunch today? Not a cheeseburger.
Right.
Okay. So clearly you don't like cheeseburgers, and you haven't told me what you want for lunch. All right. Or hey, where are you going on vacation? Not Houston. Okay?
Right.
Clearly there's an issue. So I'm talking about what I dislike. Any form of dislike is a form of hate, whether it be small, charge, or large. But hate, but what angels move when I start talking about what I love, when I reclaim my authority, when I take back my inner strength.
It makes so much sense. I was dealing with a client who everything I suggested, she said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And so what I brought a creative solution, and she said, oh, I can do that. I said, you could have gotten to the same creativity, but you kept talking about what you're not going to do versus looking at what you're willing to do, what you're choosing to do. And so no idea showed up for her.
Hey, it's the fruit from the tree of right and wrong, man. We all took a bite. We're born into it. This idea that I can make right and make wrong, and all my judgments of wrong only return to me. And that's judge not lest you be judged. It's a law. So when I send my judgment out, it misses the heart of God, completely misses, and is resent, and will lead me at some point in a state of resentment, a state of my judgments have returned for me. I see that a lot in my office, a lot of arthritis, bone spurs and stuff like that. It's some long-standing resentment of wrong. And it's not wrong. It's just a law. Okay, and it's a loving law, and it's reversible. Reverse. I can say it again in a new way. Right? I can focus on the fact that you've been having difficulty about directing. Or you can take your authority back and say, I direct with ease and clarity.
And that's exactly what, when we had our conversation, it brought me back to those words, which somehow in the difficulty, I lost my way and I came back to it. And don't we all do that?
Yes, yes, the old pattern constantly tries to reboot.
Yeah,
We're just
absolutely.
using a little bit more modern language with it, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
illusion tries to reboot itself.
yes.
So it's always around. So if I hate my illusions, they tend to get bigger.
Anything we hate gets bigger, right? What we
Yes.
focus on takes on size.
Yes. It's an energy field. So I no longer hate my illusion. I say, oh, I see you, illusion. And I love you just the way you are because I know what you really were doing. You were just trying to protect me. And it's just, behind the curtain, it's 4 to 8 year old me, right? In pajamas, trying to be safe, trying to figure this place out.
So I
And
no longer have to hate a sharp knife. I can actually I can actually say thank you, knife. You showed up, and it was good for me to have been in that period of affliction for whatever moment, for every time. Because had the affliction not shown up, then perhaps, excuse me, that was. But if the affliction had not shown up, perhaps the posting wouldn't have shown up, and the call that directed me to something that it was in my subconscious, because consciously I thought I was fine. But
yeah, so what we imagine about becomes real, and it becomes flesh, especially that what we feel. So you were imagining about the wrong or the loss of the cut fingers, yes?
yes,
Why did this happen to me?
yes.
And we made a new like, how did this happen for me? You see how I get a new set of
Oh,
answers?
oh, oh, there's a bell.
Yeah.
So replacing why this happened to me with the question of why this happened for me. And
Yes.
you know what, Doug,
God
one
help
of
me know.
huh?
God help me know how this happened for me.
God help me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've realized, because I've had lots of people, when they see the finger, they're asking me questions. And here's what happened, going back to your comment, that what we imagine becomes real. Why is it that every time I talk about how that knife sliced me, people cringe and they're not cut?
Yeah.
Their imagination is taking them to the feeling that they really don't have. But I will tell you, I've had people acting worse than what I acted in the reality, and they're acting worse with imagination.
Okay. So that's why it's
Imagination.
important for me to speak about my wounds in a way that upgrades me so they can come with me.
Yes,
Because when I upgrade me, my world comes with me. Everyone. So
yes.
when I make a new choice, so that's cool. So that's all right. They just bought into sympathy, right? Did they agree with you that it was wrong?
No, well, my point is this, that the imagination was so powerful that they actually felt the pain. It's the same thing as if I describe to someone, I want you to cut a lemon, squeeze the lemon, and drink it. And they start making a face like, there's no lemon.
Yeah.
But the imagination is so powerful, it's creating something in the back where you feel it.
Well,
Wow.
you're really on to a huge concept here because these conditioned responses we have based on past experiences is
Exactly.
is one way the illusion tries to reboot.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And it's not
Yes.
wrong. We're just catching it in the light now, right?
Wow.
So
Wow.
once we catch things in the light, it's okay. They flip into something for us.
Wow, we just have a couple minutes left. I want to, those who are listening live, and for those of you who are watching the recording, this is Dr. Mick Mahan, and we're having a discussion on language and imagination and how it creates the reality. So this is really, really important stuff. If you have a question, now's the time to bring that question up. Dr. Mick, I want to ask you, because you've studied this for a long time and you've become a master of it. What are some of the most important word affirmations that you say daily?
I am love. I am light. I stay. All right, because the illusion is always trying to talk me into leaving.
So you say, I stay.
I stay. God stays. That means I can stay.
Yes, that's good. That's good. I'll give that a bell.
Thank you. Right?
I stay. I'm fully God supported.
Yeah, I give myself permission to feel all my feelings, even especially the ones I avoided. Right?
Yeah.
When I avoided my anger, it just got bigger, and I realized what anger turns into me. So that's another part of the tools of the system is each emotion has a resurrected state. So my fear resurrects to my faith when I touch my fear with my love and make it okay.
Touch my fear with my love.
Yeah.
Touch my fear with my love. That's huge. That's
Well, the
huge.
world has always tried to teach me to run away from my fear.
Wow.
Be fearful of fear.
Yeah.
My grief, which has been my judgments of things didn't go the way I thought they should have went. That's all grief is. Or somebody died too soon or left the family or whatever it is. I can flip that into my joy when I make my grief okay. Hey, things didn't go the way I thought they should have. It's cool, but I know life is happening for me somehow. So I remember my joy and I remember my memories of love with somebody.
Remember my joy. So the memory of joy is the same power of the memory of having a lemon or having a cut, so you remember your joy and you place yourself right back in it. What can you help? I know you can. What would you say to a single female, and it's that time of the year where she's feeling loneliness but have the fear of having another bad relationship? Maybe it's a single mom or a single person. Let me make it even genderless. But let's say that her fear is turned around with two bad experiences. And when she thinks about this new experience, the fear of failed relationship comes up. In your coaching practice, how would you help someone like that?
Cool. So when there's something going on with my relationship with others or something's going on in my outer, it's a reflection of what's going on my inner. Okay. So God is universe, however you like to say it. The pattern repeats until a new choice is made.
Oh, say that again.
The pattern repeats until a new choice is made.
The pattern repeats until a new choice is made. That's huge. Bell.
So if I'm experiencing bad relationships, I might have some internal dialogue like, I'm not worthy of my ideal relationship.
Wow.
So, or how about this? Men suck, or men are jerks, right? So she attracts men that suck and men who are jerks, so she can prove to herself that her illusion is true.
True. Oh, wow. Wow.
I can make
that's a great point.
That's how powerful we are.
That's how powerful we are. That's a great point. Thank you, Corey, for joining us. You have a question, Corey?
Wait, hold on.
In this.
Hold on. I want to talk to the single mom.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Talk to the single mom.
We just talked about what the pattern is, but the thing is, give yourself your ideal divine partner. God has this man for you. Okay, and he's waiting for you, and he's just waiting for you to resurrect a couple things inside yourself, right? He's just asking for you to say, I can have my divine partner. Just give yourself permission. Just open the idea, the possibility that could be true, right? Someone who loves me. So you describe in detail what it is that you love. I'm faithful. My partner's faithful. I use love first in all our encounters. He uses love first in all our encounters. We prosper together. Okay, we take care of each other. However it is, you can just get lavish with it and imagining your feeling world of you sitting there with your divine partner, what he looks like, what he smells like, how he talks, how he swings his hips when he walks, whatever it is, imagine it and feel it, and it will manifest for you.
Or how he doesn't swing his hips, maybe. I'm
Well,
just
that's the cool thing here. I get to use my
Yeah,
imagination
that's
and
right. That's the
and
imagination.
more fanciful and feeling I use with touch, taste, sense, smell, feel, right? The more I use for that, the faster the manifestation could
So
be
the
true.
alignment, you've talked about this before. The alignment is in the thinking, the words, and the action. When those
Yes.
align,
Ooh, thought, word, and action, when those align, and feeling, and the deeper the feeling, the faster. My
that's good.
experience.
That's good. Well, we got just a few minutes left, and thank you for those who are joining us. I was trying to get to some questions, but you can put the questions in, and we're wrapping up in about 3 minutes. But before we wrap up, Dr. Mick, I'd like to just pick some dis-ease, and I'd like for you to maybe point in a direction where what's happening outward could be happening inward. Is that
Sure. Yeah,
okay?
we just call it an interpretation. That's all.
Okay. All right. So let's say a manifestation of glaucoma, pressures high in the eyes.
Yeah, that's been pressure about what has been seen.
Ooh, pressure about what has been seen. Okay, let's talk about arthritis in the joints.
Yeah, that's anger and resentment.
Anger and resentment.
Yeah, rots the bones.
That's really common. How about diabetes?
Diabetes, diabetes. You got me saying it like that old guy. Diabetes,
Diabetical.
diabetes. Right. So when it's over sugar, right? So it's when I crave sugar on my outer, it's because I got up and running inside me. My life is bitter.
Life is bitter. Wow.
So I crave my sweets from the outer.
I crave my sweets from the outer. Wow, that's
So
powerful.
reverser is I remember the sweetness of my life. I remember my God's sweetness. God
Wow.
help me remember my sweetness of my life. Right. But if I got judgments up of wrong, right and wrong going, I couldn't even see the sweetness. Couldn't even hear it.
That's good. That's good. So anybody diabetical? I'm making up words.
Yeah.
Okay. What about cancer?
Cancer is typically because it's so response related that it's typically a decree of life I can't, and it's too hard.
It's too hard. I can't.
Not
Wow.
the cancer, but a long time belief about life. I can't do it. It's too hard.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Any particular disease that I was just thinking about? Oh, what about high blood pressure,
Uh,
hypertension?
blood is love, life. So
Mhm.
pressure about love or life.
Pressure about love or life. Wow. So there's some real key ones there. The craving of sugar, missing out on the sweetness of life.
Yeah, when I'm craving sugar, I mean that's my signal. Uh, okay, where inside me have I been calling life bitter? Okay, I got it now. And whatever it is, I can forgive it and love them. Depression, thank you. Great question. Sorry, Sandra, I did your host job.
Go ahead.
Um, so depression is really a default state. It's not the thing. The thing is, it's lack of expression. So depression is a state when it's not been safe to express. So, often we suppress our feeling world, so it's been difficult for expression. Or like I said, we expressed early in life, and somebody slammed us for it. Somebody stepped on us, and we didn't know what to do, so we retracted, we depressed.
Okay.
Not wrong. Just a survival mechanism. And the pain of depression is to wake us up to what's really happening. What does this turn into me? For what happened? What is my depression? If you have depression, you're here for massive expression. That's what it means.
That's so true. That's so true because I suffered from depression throughout my teenage years and my 20s.
And look how you express now.
It's true. And I was even very suicidal.
Yeah, you had a lot of pain and suffering invested in your depression. Watch
Yes,
what God can flip it to.
absolutely.
But all
Absolutely.
it took was you to make a new choice.
Yes,
I
yes,
can. I can
yes,
do all things.
yes.
I already
And there
have
were,
permission.
yes.
I already
And that's
got
where
funding.
my major expression
My
came
miracles are
from.
already done.
So, what about the flu bug? What is
Well,
that expression of?
infection of any kind is related to doubt.
Infection of any kind. Is that the same as inflammation or just
No, inflammation is usually from anger. Big
inflammation?
component in arthritis. Yeah, inflamed, bowel lack.
Anger. Now, so we have people with arthritic conditions in their joints. What would you tell them to do to reverse the anger? They say, "I'm not angry."
I know that. I know that. I know. And that's really where the coaching, that's where the work comes in, so we can find it. Remember, we've gone as far, we've gone unconscious to some of these things, a lot of
Yes.
them, because they were too painful. We didn't know what to do. The best advice we got was, hey, I'll give you something to cry about. So, most parents taught us what not to do.
Yeah.
My parents were the masters of it. But when I judged all that as weakness, the pain of that woke me up to, wait a second. Every single thing of those that I hated about my experience with them has given me my greatest strengths.
Yes.
I mean, my family is together and loving and progressing in perfection because my parents taught me what not to do.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Now,
So
my
hold
last
on. You were asking me about. Sorry, I got off track. What was the question?
we talked about the flu and their origin of
Okay,
where
so
that might be.
infection is typically doubt.
Yeah.
And especially the word influenza, which is basically code for do not be influenzed by the hysteria.
Ah.
Okay. People, just like when somebody in church starts coughing, next thing you know, everybody's coughing. Yeah. How does that happen? So we can be influenced by these things. We can decree them up over ourselves, and we can decree, I don't want to get sick versus I stay healthy. I stay in my God health.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yes. No of this trying to catch a cold. Why would you do that?
Catch a cold.
Yeah.
So these things in germ theory sells a lot of this stuff, and it's $1 trillion industry. But infections is some decrees of I can't. And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if I say I can't, I could be lying.
Absolutely.
And so I come back into what's true, which is I can. My immune system can. And hey, maybe you got a place to where you require some outside help. That's okay.
Well, there could be just taking and extrapolating from your interpretations. Could COVID be a massive I can't?
It could be. And it could be all of us waking up to, hey, we're not going to be run by lies and big pharma anymore.
Okay, that's a whole nother discussion.
Oh God, here people getting off now? No, don't. Where'd everybody go?
Well, we have had a wonderful discussion. I really enjoyed this, and there's so much more. And first of all, Dr. Mick Mahan is on Facebook, so you can look him up if you're having some struggles in some of these areas. I think you just got a little bit of idea of how you can be upgraded into a whole nother level of wellness and peace and joy and all of those wonderful things. So
I suggest coming into your full measure.
Yes.
Right. I choose my full measure. What does my full measure really look like? And that's me, loving my life.
Yes. And I just want to remind you all also that um, my direction finger is healing nicely. Thank you again for your support and prayers and all the positive energy that you sent my way. And I want to remind you that coming up in 2022, I'm going to be diving into this whole topic of finding your God assigned sweet spot, purpose, and identity. I believe that one of the outcomes of not knowing purpose is getting into abuse, and that produces a cancel culture. That's a whole nother topic, but a cancel culture. How do you cancel purpose? I asked the question, not looking for an answer, but have you thought about that? How you cancel somebody's destiny and their purpose? The cancel culture think they can, but we're going to talk about that. So please get on the wait list. I have it right now. It's up bit.ly / sweet spot 8, and get in touch with Dr. Mick Mahan, and you too will understand how everything is working together for the good. Dr. Mahan, anything else
Yes.
you'd like to share as we wrap it up here?
No, thanks everyone. And certainly if we went too fast on any topics or you require clarity, I'll answer any question you send me on Facebook. Just message me. And really grateful for you, Sandra, for playing, because this is, we're just here. We're here for this brief time. We're here to have this experience. I existed before here. I'm going to exist after. So this place is clearly about something for me. And everyone would imagine if we all were here to experience that little different take on life.
And I love it. Every time you show up, I learn something. So we'll go out on the same song we came in on. We can upgrade the words, but the essence of it is still there. So we want to be with less fear, no fear, however you want to say it best. So thank you again. Thank
Faithful.
you.
Faithful.
Faithful,
Yes.
faithful, faithful, faithful. We're going to go out and have a wonderful day. No fear. None. None.
Total
Thank
faith.
you.
I
Full
love you.
faith. Full
All
faith.
right.
All right. Love, power, and a sound mind. That's what it's about, right?
Yes.